Hello, this is Ray Main here again with today's Bible reading. Today we're going to be reading in the book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 8. Moreover, brethren, we do you to wit of the grace of God bestowed on the churches of Macedonia, how that in a great trial of affliction the abundance of their joy and their deep poverty abounded unto the riches of their liberality. For to their power I bear record, yea, and beyond their power they are willing of themselves, praying us with much entreaty that we would receive the gift and take upon us the fellowship of the ministering to the saints. And this they did, not as we hoped, but first gave their own selves to the Lord, and unto us by the will of God, insomuch that we desired Titus, that as he had begun, so he would also finish in you the same grace also. Therefore, as ye abound in everything, in faith and utterance and knowledge, and in all diligence, and in your love to us, see that ye abound in this grace also. I speak not by commandment, but by occasion of the forwardness of others, and to prove the sincerity of your love. For ye know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that, though he was rich, yet for your sakes he became poor, that ye through his poverty might be rich. And herein I give my advice, for this is expedient for you who have begun before, not only to do, but also to be forward a year ago. Now therefore perform the doing of it, that as there was a readiness to will, so there may be a performance also out of that which ye have. For if there be first a willing mind, it is accepted according to that a man hath, and not according to that he hath not. Paul's talking, let me stop here just a second. Paul's talking on the surface of this. People read this and they'll go, what? What's he talking about? What he's talking about is offerings. Uh, some people call it tithing, some call offerings. There's a difference between tithing and offerings, and I won't go into that right now. But he's talking to the church, asking them to take up an offering to help for the saints. I believe he is at that time Jerusalem. The saints at Jerusalem were having a pretty bad time, and he is referring to taking up an offering. He's gathering money to help with the poor folks in Jerusalem. And he said here in this 12th verse, is for if there be first a willing mind, is accepted according to that he hath, and not according to what he hath, what he doesn't have. There's a lot of churches today that take up pledges and stuff, asking people to pledge a certain amount of money for things in the church and whatnot, money that they don't have. You know, I don't go along with that my own self, but they have to answer to God for themselves. That's really none of my business. But if you have a willing mind, God sees your heart. That's the thing to keep in mind. He sees your heart. He sees what you desire to do, and He's able to bring it about. What you desire to do. So God doesn't expect anything out of you that that you can't perform. But anyway, just as a little ways of trying to explain what he's talking about in this chapter. For I mean not that other men be eased and ye burdened, but by an equality, that now at this time your abundance may be a supply for their want, that their abundance also may be a supply for your want, that there may be equality. As it is written, he that had gathered much had nothing over, and he that had gathered little had no lack. But thanks be to God, which put the same earnest care into the heart of Titus for you. For indeed he accepted the exhortation, but being more forward of his own accord, he went unto you. And we have sent with him the brother, whose praise is in the gospel throughout all the churches. And not that only, but who is also chosen of the churches to travel with us with this grace, which is administered by us to the glory of the same Lord, and declaration of your ready mind. Avoiding this, that no man should blame us in this abundance which is administered by us, providing for honest things, not only in the sight of the Lord, but also in the sight of men. And we have sent with them our brother, whom we have oftentimes proved diligent in many things, but now much more diligent, upon the great confidence which I have in you. Whether any do inquire of Titus, he is my partner and fellow helper concerning you, or our brethren, be inquired of. They are the messengers of the churches, and the glory of Christ. Wherefore show ye to them, and before the churches, the proof of your love, and of our boasting on your behalf. Like I've said before, Paul's writings are kind of hard to be understood sometimes. Peter mentions this later on. We'll get to him later on, but excuse me, he mentions that Paul's writings are hard to be understood. That's the reason why I'm endeavoring to, try to explain just a little bit about these writings. Anyway, that's enough for today. I trust that you'll have a blessed day. God bless.